This is McFly Angler.
And it starts now.
To start, we will need a 2x long hook. Now, being a dry fly, you might think that you want a dry fly hook. However, because we will be using foam here, you can get away with a stronger nymph hook for this fly. So today I'm using Risen's 9231 in size 12. But whatever hook you use, make sure it's a 2x long hook. Put the hook securely in your vise. For thread, I'm using Viva's 10-aught in brown. Start the thread with a little space behind the hook eye, and then break or snip off the waist. Bring your thread down to the start of the bend of the hook, and then back up to about an eye length shy of the eye of the hook. I find adding some micro chenille will help to keep the foam from spinning, and a piece this long should tie about 4 to 5 of these flies. Tie in the chenille directly on top of the hook shank, leaving an eye length space behind the hook eye. Then tie the chenille down to the start of the bend of the hook, and then come back up to the top part of the chenille. Now cut off the chenille, leaving about a hook gap length tail. To make it look more natural, you can bring a flame to the end of the chenille. Now we need some foam. 2mm foam for this size fly will work. I like using a dark color and a lighter color for contrast. First, let's pull off one of these little tag ends made by the cutters we will use later. You'll see why in a minute. By the way, foam comes in such a wide variety of colors, way more than I even have here. So get creative and tie your Chernobyl on any color combo you want. Alright, now to cut the foam. You could just cut strips out of the foam and tie them in, and then cut notches to make shapes. But these River Road cutters really help with making these more consistent. The cutters come with a cutting pad like this here, and make sure you only cut on that pad. By the way, these are called Chernobyl style tapered end cutters. And they are the extra small, and small size. And they also come in sets like this. This is a round end set in large, medium, and small sizes. You can see both sides are round here. Anyway, I will be using the extra small size cutter for this Chernobyl. And you want it to be about double the hook shank length. To cut the foam, line up the cutter so the flat end hangs out a bit over the foam like so. Not too far down and not too far up, just barely over the end of the foam like so. Then push down hard with a rocking motion. You might need something sharp to pull the piece out of the cutter. Anyway, you can make multiple pieces at one time if you want, and then cut out some brown pieces as well in the same way. Okay, now we're ready to tie in the foam on the hook. Measure out how long you want this to extend out the back of the fly. Then make one tight wrap over the foam to mark it. Now we need some super glue to make sure nothing spins. Add some super glue on top of the chenille. Then place a foam strip on top of the chenille and push down to glue it into place. We marked it so we could place it down correctly. However, I did actually miss the mark by a millimeter or so. Anyway, make a wrap over the fly, trying to make it even as possible. Then make 2 to 3 more tight wraps to lock it in tight. Then make an extra wrap to make a section in the foam, like so, and then one more to secure it tight. Do this 2 more times, trying to make even sections down the shank until you reach the start of the hook bend. Now we need some rubber legs. I really like these centipede legs because they're durable and speckled. Today I'm using the small yellow. We will need 2 legs for this fly. By the way, they come in a wide variety of colors and sizes. Mini, small, and medium sizes, and multiple colors like bright chartreuse to more muted white and tan speckled. You could also use the nymph size silly legs as well. However, I find them to be more fragile, but it's up to you. Okay, fold the legs in half and tie it in on top of the foam with 2 tight wraps. Now place the other colored foam piece on top of everything, trying to line up the back end with the other foam. Make a couple tight wraps to hold the foam down, but be careful guys, you can cut the foam if you tie it too tight here. Okay, next take that piece you ripped off in the beginning and let's tie in just a little section like this. This will act as a hot spot to better see the fly on top of the water. Okay, now pull everything back and make a wrap over the foam once again and basically reverse the segment ties you made earlier. Okay, move the leg loop out of the way of the foam so you can lay the foam down without trapping the legs. Also, let's cut off the excess foam hot spot. Double up another set of silly legs and tie them in like the other pair. but make sure that the ends are split to either side of the fly. Now lay down the top piece of foam and tie that in as well. And then tie in one more hot spot piece. Pull everything back and make a few wraps under the front portion there so you reach the eye of the hook. Now whip finish your fly, but make sure you pull everything rearward and whip finish right behind the hook eye. Now let's cut the loops of the two rubber legs. Also, let's adjust the legs to the correct positioning. The front will almost always be uneven, so let's cut this even. And I also like cutting the sharp edges off the foam as well to give it a more natural look. Now let's cut the legs to your desired length. You could leave them extra long or cut them even shorter than I'm cutting here. It's up to you. To make this fly more durable, let's add a drop of super glue on the whip finish. You could also add it to the back and front wraps as well if you want. Well, your fly is now finished. The rather simple yet effective Chernobyl ant. This fly floats super high and can hold up the heaviest of nymphs. It's very visible on top of the water as well, and can be fished like an indicator, just one with a hook. It can be tied in many different color combos and sizes as well. So let me know in the comments section what is your favorite color for this pattern. As you all know, I have gotten you all discounts from both www.risenfly.com and www.dooliesflyfishing.com. Doolies offers great prices on all of the name brand fly tying materials, and Risen Fly manufactures their own hooks, rods, reels, and other gear for fly fishing. Their products are top quality, and best of all, they are priced very reasonably. Not only are the prices at these two shops great, but like I said, they are offering all of my subscribers a discount. So use McFly at checkout when ordering from either of these shops, and you will get an additional 15% off of their already great prices. I want to also thank all of my Patreons who support me. For as little as $1 a month, you can help support this channel and also get some great perks like early access to my videos, participate in live streams, and more. So go to www.patreon.com/McFlyAngler to sign up today. I also thank all of you who share all my videos with your friends and your continued support by hitting the like buttons and subscribing. Thank you for making these videos possible. I will see you on the next video. Now you go catch some fish.